everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooklyn, and for today's video I wanted to film a cozy reading vlog. I thought it would be fun if I picked a couple books from my bookshelf behind me and just do some mood reading for this video. I have two books that I've been eyeing specifically. The first one is The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. I have seen some pretty good things on this book, and I also got this book last Christmas, so I've been really wanting to read this. The second book that I want to read is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. This is the second book in, I'll put like the name of the series on here. I don't know what it's called, but I love the first book of this series and I'm so excited to read this one. I've also had this one on my shelf for a while, so these are the two books that I'll be reading in this video. I am very excited to film this and get into these. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first book that we'll be reading for this video is The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. This is going to be my first time reading a Jessica Joyce book. I'm pretty sure one of her other books, I'm pretty sure it was her debut novel, was You with a View, and I feel like I've heard some good things about that one, but I've seen some people talk about this and really enjoy it, so I'm very excited to read this. We're kind of in that weird in-between stages of summer to fall. I am slowly becoming a fall girly and really buying into that whole vibe of the season, but I also do love summer. I feel like this book gives a little bit of summer into fall transition. So this book follows Georgia and Eli, who once dated. This is a second chance romance. Their mutual best friend Adam is getting married, so Georgia and Eli have to step up to the roles of best woman and man for his wedding. So they have to work together during the length of the wedding, and everything that could be going wrong for this wedding is going wrong. So that is like a broad summary of this book. I did start reading this last night, so that's why I wanted to check in with you guys. I made it to chapter 6, page 55. I already know I'm gonna love Eli. This man, he's a man on a mission, truly. Even on the back it says, Eli arriving from New York with a new rule-breaking attitude. This man realized what he lost and he is on a mission to win her back. So far what I've read, we learned a little bit of their backstory when they met as friends and how their little trio became what it is. She briefly goes over their breakup, but she doesn't give us the full details of it. She does drop little hints here and there, but all we know is that it was really messy and it kind of slowly fizzled. We've also learned that Georgia is definitely type A. She loves her list. She loves her pros and cons list, to-do list, all that stuff. She's very serious about her work, and that's kind of like the one consistent aspect in her life. We then meet Eli from his plane flight from New York, and this man is not the man that Georgia's describing since their post breakup. And you know, when like in books they describe the man, but the FMC is so clouded by her own judgment that the actions that the MMC does is the complete opposite. I already feel like I'm going to be able to connect to both Eli and Georgia very well in this book. Also, Eli's tall. Automatic 5-star. I'm just kidding. I love a good tall MMC. Anyways, I'm very excited to continue on with this book, but I just wanted to intro it before I got further along into it. I wanted to check in with you guys on The X-Files. I am currently on chapter 18, page 170. I am really enjoying this book. I've been reading it a lot at night and just kind of like in between stuff. I did have to finish another book for another video, so I have kind of put this one on the back burner. It is so good. I love Eli, and I want to say Eli and Rue from Not in Love on my mind, sorry. I love Eli and Georgia. I think their dynamic and how they are navigating their feelings and emotions for each other, trying to deny themselves of what could be, is so funny and fun to watch. But on top of that, the tension is also really good because you can clearly see that they like each other still. Anyways, we knew this was a second chance romance. One thing I really like about this book is that I'm getting through it really fast, so I feel like this is definitely a quick read. If you just sat and wanted to binge it, you totally could. The writing style of Jessica Joyce, so this is my first book that I've read from her, and I love her writing style. The way she writes is very descriptive. I don't really know how to verbalize it, but I feel like she's able to like capture and like verbalize or like write down feelings or moments that people may have in certain situations that might be hard to describe. I don't know how to like verbalize this. A lot of these will be out of context, but it's just like interactions between Eli and Georgia. So he says, "Your stomach sounded like a haunted house," he replies, "and when I roll my eyes..." What's wrong? I swear the cats are so dramatic. That's like one of our cats we have. I don't know what she's doing. Honeybee. I'm the only one home too, and she's probably trying to figure out where everyone's at. Hi. You're so sassy. Like, anyways, back to what Eli was saying. Your stomach sounded like a haunted house, he replies, and when I roll my eyes, his mouth hooks into a tiny smile. It hooks me, too, sways my body closer to his, even when his mouth straightens, parts slightly. And then on the next page, page 151, this one's also very out of context, but it says, I stared at my handprint on his chest while he talks. I traced the skin it exposes with my eyes, the streaks at the bottom of my palm where I couldn't quite pull away. His heart is under there. And then I said, literally and figuratively. Like, going back pages, I actually read these out of order, but on page 134, it says, I just know that when Eli wraps his arms around my waist following a brief hesitation, it feels like coming home after the longest time away. It's so good, you guys. I am loving this. I'm hoping I can finish this book tonight or get really close to being done with it, but I just wanted to check in because the writing style is actually so good. And not that I wasn't expecting that, but it's just like the perfect amount of detail. And you know what I mean? It's just great writing. I don't even know how to verbalize it. I'm sorry, my brain's like mush right now, but I have finished The X-Vows by Jessica Joyce. I am going to give this book 4.75 stars. I really want it to be a 5-star, and I feel like it could be, but I just did not get that feeling. I feel like I'm also kind of getting in a slump, which is scary because I found myself not really paying attention to this book while reading it and more worried about like my time outside of it. I don't know how to like verbalize that. I don't think it's the book's fault. I think it's solely my fault. So I'm not gonna like blame it on the book. I thought this book's plot and overall storyline was amazing. It flowed very smoothly. I definitely don't feel like she spewed us with too much information or backstories for every character. She laid everything out very plain and simple to where we could get an idea of who the characters are, their little quirks, their backstories of where they came from and why they know each other, their relationships. Her writing was just very straight to the point, but also had enough detail to where you can enjoy the story and kind of immerse yourself into it when you're reading it. One thing I did like about this book is it gave me Allie Hazelwood vibes, and it's just like that quirky female character and like the sense of humor that all the characters have with one another. There's little inside jokes that we're all in on in this as well, and there's just little moments and stuff that are funny and, like I said, quirky. So I got a little vibe of Allie Hazelwood in this, which I also really enjoy, and you guys know I love Allie Hazelwood. As far as characters go, I really love Georgia and Eli. I'm pretty sure I mentioned in another clip that I saw myself a lot in both of those characters, especially Georgia. She is a list girly. I am a list girly. I'm like type A, organized, need to see things clearly in that way, or like when I'm trying to process a decision, that's what I do. I turn to writing lists. But I just saw myself a lot in Georgia and the way she thought, and even Eli in some aspects of how he lived his life. Eli though, that man, you wouldn't expect it. You would not expect it. And the things he did, there's always these like grand gestures or hidden things that happen in books, and sometimes they're just so good. This is one of them. I don't think you would notice it throughout the story. I didn't catch on to it until the very end. I think that was the point of it, so it hit harder. But the things this man says, does, like, he is everything that you would want in a fictional man. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about this. I love this. I would say it's like a 4.75/5, but I didn't get that 5-star feeling. I'll definitely recommend this book to people if someone asks me ever what book to read, because this is a perfect romance. It's quick, it's easy, and it still has a really great message. I'm gonna read you guys those quotes real quick, and then we'll talk about our next book. Out of context once again, but maybe it could be The Thrilling Reward. I think I do, I admit. I'm just scared. All the best things are scary, Jamie says, squeezing my hand. And I was like, you know what? That is so true when making difficult decisions in life. This is a descriptor of Eli in a moment, like at nighttime. Then the door opens and Eli's there, tall, beautiful, rumpled. He wears moonlight like a crown. It traces his fingertips down to his body, silhouetting him. But like, moonlight is a crown that's so descriptive and so beautiful. Like, I could see that so clearly. But you're doing it anyway. Sometimes I think it means more when you're scared. You know the risks, but trusting yourself ranks above all that. I really like that aspect of the book, of just trusting your gut, doing the scary thing because God planted those dreams in your heart for a reason. And I think trusting what you want to do, and if you have that dream or goal, to just try it even if it doesn't work out, and to not be scared, because we're all deserving of these things. That's why we're living. Anyways, I'm not gonna start preaching at you about that stuff. But that was The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. The second book, I started this last night, is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. This is the second book in the When in Rome series. It follows Annie Walker and Will Griffin. So Annie Walker is the sister of the guy in the first book in When in Rome, and then Will Griffin is the bodyguard of Amelia from the first book in When in Rome. I'm pretty sure the whole gist of this book is that it's fake dating. I read a chapter 7 last night, which is page 52. What I've learned is that Annie is very like antisocial. She's not really good at the dating scene and she needs a little bit of help. That is when Will comes in. He was actually at the restaurant of the date that Annie was on and it was going terribly wrong. Will was there and kind of saved the night for Annie. The date still sucked and the guy himself was terrible, but seeing Will and talking to him made Annie feel really good about herself even though the date was going bad. And Will realized too that he had attraction towards Annie. So that's where I got last night in the book. I already know I'm gonna love Will. This man is confident, charismatic, and already falling in love with Annie. Like, he cannot get that girl out of his head. I'm very excited to see how their relationship grows and their dynamic and how this like fake dating is gonna work. I'm pretty sure it's fake dating. So this is the second book of the video. I'm gonna try and read a good chunk of it today. I am gonna go to the movies later tonight with my cousins and my mom to see The Conjuring. That's not the vibe, kind of. Yeah, I'll give you guys more of an update once I read more and form more of an opinion on it. What are you doing? I just have to talk to you guys real quick. I am really living life right now. I do not know what is making me so happy, but I have like the biggest boost of serotonin right now. This book is actually really good. I don't know what kind of sassy mood I've been in lately, but this is so fun. It's quirky. There's so much humor in it. Annie is so funny. Will is he just compliments Annie so well in their little banter back and forth. So I'm living life. The weather is giving me fall time college campus vibes. Something about it is so good. I'm loving life. This is peak nostalgia for me. I don't know why, and I just have to let you guys know that I am truly so happy right now reading this book. Benny's out here frolicking in the grass. I am giggling at this book, and it feels like what it used to when I was a child. That's like the best way I could describe being outside right now. I have a hoodie and leggings on. Maybe it's the leggings. I have not worn a pair of Lululemon leggings or just leggings in general in like 2 years because, well, I take that back. I probably wore them during the winter when I came home for Christmas. Not during like a warmish day. You know what I mean? Because you could not pull that off in Hawaii. I'd be sweating through them. But anyways, I thought I'd just let you guys know I'm happy right now. And I'm not in a slump, I don't think, with this book. And that I'm enjoying it fully. So yeah, the weather's just so good. Like, just look at this. Birds are chirping. Everyone's happy. So I thought I'd just give you guys a little update. I'm hoping as I read this, you get my context clues. Just bear with me. This is page 67. Oh, I doubt I will, Annie says as she heads into the storeroom. I follow again and then stop abruptly in the doorway when faster than I expected she surfaces holding a small bouquet of prearranged flowers. We're standing together, bookended by either side of the doorway. We'll be too busy for me to bring him by with him teaching me all kinds of things. I narrow my eyes and tip forward to lean my hand on the doorframe over her shoulder. Is that not the front cover? Isn't that so fun? Like, that's literally the front page. Oh my gosh. I just wanted to tell you guys. Hey. I don't have a pen. I need one. Hi guys, I wanted to give you an update on Practice Makes Perfect. I read to chapter 17 yesterday. I read to chapter 17 yesterday, my dad's doing housework. Try this again. I made it to chapter 17, page 138. I have some thoughts on this. I forgot how much I love Sarah Adams' writing. It is so funny and witty, and it's just playful and very light and fun and easy to read. Half the time I'm either giggling at what is being said or I'm smiling at just how cute it is. The dialogue between the characters is also really good and it's just very natural. Will is down bad. When I first read like this trope of it's like the fake dating or he's like her dating coach, you think Will would be more of like that black cat vibe and she's the golden retriever, when in reality like this man is truly down bad and we get dual point of views, and just seeing the internal thoughts of Will about Annie is so sweet. And then same towards Annie because he just like sees her and he gets her, and I love that. I also miss the small town aspect of this. Obviously there's books with like small town vibes. The only other one that I've really read is Chestnut Springs, but in this series there's reoccurring characters and they all have such like spunky personalities and they're so fun and protective of Annie and her sisters and her brother Noah and just like their whole family dynamic. So I love that. I've never really read that in any other book. Overall, I'm really enjoying this, but it's picking up. The chapters I also feel like are perfect length in terms of what's going on in the story, so the pacing's really well. Sometimes they're a little longer, sometimes they're shorter, but it gets to the point in each chapter. On Goodreads, it says I'm about 47% through. I also want to tell you guys about this quote. It's on page 126. This is from Annie's point of view. "The more I get to know Will, the more I realize his charming playfulness is not always real. Sometimes I think it's a mask. It's a smile drawn on a sticky note and pasted on his face. If I were to pull it off, I would find a frown beneath." And I feel like that's the perfect way to describe Will. And now I'm going to continue reading it. Random side note, the playlist I was listening to for X-Files had the song Twilight Zone by Ariana Grande, and I'm not like an avid Ari listener, but like occasionally her songs will come up on playlists or like the popular ones, and I'll like them occasionally and I'll listen to them, but like I'm obsessed with Twilight Zone. That one and Better Off is so good to me. I thought I'd just share that. There's also a ladybug flying right here and I just fully watching it float around, but I just want to share that it's so good. Like I can't stop listening to it. I have it on repeat. Hi, I have an update for Practice Makes Perfect. I'm currently on page 264. I'm very close to finishing it. Chapter 31, Will's point of view. You guys, I'm actually really enjoying this book. Not that I didn't expect to like this book. I love these two characters. I love Annie and Will. I think their story, the way that Sarah Adams is telling it, is flowing so smoothly. There's not a lot of random stuff that's getting in the way. I can't really remember if her books do like third act breakups or like issues that occur, but even if there is, it's just like a little bump in the story and it's nothing like throw it all out the window, we're done here, you know what I mean? Like it's not like a full reset. I'm truly loving this though. The amount of banter and wit in this story, Benny's here, but the amount of like wit and banter in this story is so good, and it just makes the connection between the two characters so much better because it shows they have chemistry and there's something there besides physical. And I'm absolutely loving it. Will is so down bad. I'm not gonna say I've never seen a character that is this down bad, but this man loves Annie. And it's not really a spoiler because like that's the whole point of the book, but just seeing the character growth of Will and Annie is so good. Just to see the way that they challenge each other and bring the best parts of themselves out when they're around each other is so nice to see. This is such a cute book. I'm so excited to finish it, and then I will get back to you guys hopefully very soon on my rating. Layla's here acting like it's her desk. It's not, it's mine. Yeah. So I have finished reading Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I finished it today while I was working, and I I'm gonna rate it 5 stars. This was a very solid 5-star. It's not one where I'm like giddy about it. This book was perfect from start to end, and the characters, the development of their relationship was so perfect and simple, and there wasn't any extra stuff. I did write down yesterday some notes about it. I said it's very tasteful in the sense that Sarah Adams' writing is obviously closed door, but when there is some spice scenes throughout, it's not the whole plot of the story. Like, there is development in the relationship and emotions between the two characters, and when spice does happen, it does like fade to black and is closed door, but it's also very fitting to the scene, and it's not the whole point of the book, which I really like. And it's kind of refreshing because I think nowadays a lot of authors put a lot of like spice or smut into books just to, like, I don't know, appease the people that want to read them. I think this book was perfect. It was definitely better than When in Rome, in my opinion. I do love that book, but I also think this book was just 10 times better. The world's already developed. I think that also gives this book an upper hand because we know all the characters, we know the townspeople, and I love the small town vibes. This is definitely a cozy read, and I would 100% recommend this if you want like a simple romance that's not over the top, but it's still cute. Will Griffin is for the book girlies. That is all I have to say about this, but I love this book and I would 100% recommend this. Even playing on the point about all the spices, that this book had tension and yearning, but it wasn't to the point where it's over the top. It was just the right amount to where it was very wholesome and sweet throughout the whole book. So that is it for today's video. These were the 2 books that we read in this book vlog. I really enjoyed both of these. I think they're both great reads. This one was definitely more my favorite, but this one still is really good. I just really enjoyed reading this one a bit more. I would definitely recommend reading both of these. So good, so fun. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye!